Yo, check it out, I gotta speak the truth about the hardest working small
Markets are buzzing with anticipation this week, and it's all about the big decisions coming from central banks that could ripple through the global economy. Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 16th of December. Let's kick this episode off with a look at the crypto market cap. The overall market cap sits at $3.8 trillion, $168 billion in trading volume. Bitcoin is at $102,000, Ethereum $3,857, XRP at $2.38, Solana $212. Everything is looking pretty red overall, but nonetheless, we are obviously seeing much higher prices. BNB 709, Polkadot can't seem to break above the $10 limits, and Litecoin is at $116. Good news from Meowcoin. Meowcoin has done a 3x and is now sitting at a market cap of $1.5 million with a price tag of 0.00226. Yep. So this is very good news for Meowcoin. Congratulations to all of those who listened to my advice to buy some Meowcoin and are now sitting in profit. Some key economic events that markets are watching out for this week. The Federal Reserve is in the spotlight with analysis in expecting a 0.25% cut to interest rates, bringing them down to a range of 4.25% to 4.5%. This move is part of a broader strategy to tame inflation, which despite the Fed's efforts has been inching up. It's like trying to keep a beach ball underwater, and once you let go of it, it pops right back up. Meanwhile, the job market is surprisingly robust, adding 227,000 positions last month, which complicates the Fed's next steps. With Donald Trump's return to the White House on the horizon, the Fed might choose to hold steady on rates for a bit, waiting to see how policies unfold. But it's not just the Fed making waves. Other economic indicators are also in play. The S&P Global Services PMI report is set to kick off things, giving us a glimpse into the health of the services sector, which has been a bright spot on an otherwise sluggish economy. While a slight dip is expected, it's not a disaster. Retail sales data will flow, revealing how much consumers are spending during the holiday season, which is crucial given the pressures of inflation and interest rates. Then there's the GDP, which is likely to be revised down slightly, hinting that while growth is still happening, it may not be as strong as initially thought. And let's not forget the housing market, which is struggling with expectations of further declines in home sales. On the global stage, the Bank of Japan is also facing its own dilemma, caught between the need for potential rate hikes and political pressures that could stall any action. Meanwhile, the Bank of England is expecting to keep its rates steady, but with inflation creeping up, there's a chance for future shifts. All these interconnected decisions and data points create a complex web of influences that can affect everything from your mortgage rates to the price of groceries. The broader implication here is significant. How these central banks navigate their policies in the coming weeks could set the tone for economic stability or volatility, not just in their own countries, but around the world. It's a delicate balancing act, and how it plays out will impact everyone's financial landscape. Bitcoin sees 148 billion in inflows of stablecoins, which may be of concern. Usually, a mass inflow of stablecoins is a good thing, because that means that our investors are bracing themselves for massive purchases. Bitcoin outflows from exchanges peaked at $148 billion when it hit 88,000, establishing a strong support base. Now, an even more robust base has emerged, a signal you should approach with caution. The King Coin's rapid jump from 67,000 to 102 in just 40 days signals a future that's hard to ignore. Bitcoin had a nice pump, which can be seen right here from November 4th up until right now, which is precisely 40 days basically, and there's nothing in between. On November 5th, Bitcoin just decided to start pumping, and it hasn't stopped since. And now we've reached the all-time high, which occurred on December 5th and is aligned with the top line of the parallel channel, and Bitcoin has not managed to get back up to that level, with relatively modest volume, sale and buy volume here on on the charts, we're still waiting for Bitcoin to get back to the all-time high of $104,000. So despite the fact that it's pumping right now and it continues moving up, it is a slow movement, and again, the volume is not as big as it was over here when Bitcoin was at $69,000. It is often the case with fast gains. The short-term outlook for Bitcoin is far from certain. Obviously, fast gains, nothing keep going up forever, so fast gains could equal fast sales as well. Typically, when stablecoins flood into exchanges, it signals a bullish outlook. Investors are positioning themselves to buy Bitcoin once market volatility settles. This trend became particularly clear during the election when the Trump pump brought in massive liquidity with $2 billion worth of USDT minted. Economically, the influx of stablecoins was directly tied to a surge in Bitcoin demand, pushing its price to 88K in under a week. The demand for Bitcoin peaked at this price point with 148 billion in stablecoins, especially ERC20 tokens flooding into exchanges. Clearly, investors were confident that Bitcoin would reach 100K at least before the election pump runs its course. And when will the election pump run its course is a question. Will it be before the inauguration or after the inauguration? And I get the feeling that this may be one of those buy the rumor, sell the news events. So we could see a retracement prior to the inauguration. The inauguration is going to take place on the 20th of January, which means we have over a month, just shy of a month and a week left before it. And so I think right now, despite the fact that right now Bitcoin is pushing for its high, it broke above the all-time high. We're at 105,000 as we speak right now. Since I started recording this video this morning, Bitcoin is pumped above this level. So I think and if you look at the volume here, small sell volume, buy volume, purchase volume is a little bit larger. This brings us to some compelling insights. First, these investors are comfortably in the money, poised to either hold or cash out for profit right now. Second, with the election pump losing steam, the market desperately needs a fresh catalyst to keep these holders from hitting the sell button. And third, if selling does kick off, the big question is whether the market has the strength to absorb the pressure. And so are we going to see a Bitcoin tumbling down to 88K or maybe even below that? Or will it sustain the buy volume and the buy pressure and continue its move upwards? Right now, we're looking at a market cap of 3.8 trillion. It could be that we might hit a $4 trillion market cap this week, or we could see a massive sale of all the crypto when these holders start taking profits. MicroStrategy has entered the Nasdaq 100, and now Mara Holdings, a prominent Bitcoin mining firm, could soon follow in MicroStrategy's footsteps and secure a spot on the Nasdaq 100. Mara CEO Fred Thiel expressed support for MicroStrategy's achievement and recognizing its pioneering role as the first Bitcoin treasury firm to reach this milestone. So if you are trading stocks, Mara might be your next best bet to make some gains. And have you heard of Sei? Sei coin sounds like Sui. Labels itself as the fastest parallel blockchain, pushing boundaries of blockchain technology through open source development. Sei has a time finality of 380 milliseconds. That means that it takes 380 milliseconds for the transactions to be completed. Right now, it counts 12,500 transactions per second, and it has 1.2 billion plus transactions completed. Sei is presently at a market cap of 2.5 billion. It's pushing its way up. It's been doing pretty well. 59 cents, all-time high at $1.04. So it's basically almost 50% down from its all-time high. And I've been seeing a lot more talk about, I've been seeing quite a bit of talk of Sei in articles on YouTube by certain YouTubers. So Sei may be the next secret gem. Its price tag is very low right now, and I guess it might give Solana or Ethereum a run for its money. Maybe not run for its money, but it could be a competitor, and it could see a bit of a spike volume or a spike in its price tag based on the hype that it seems to be receiving recently. CME records all-time high Ethereum shorts driven by hedge funds. Hedge funds have reached an all-time high in short positions against Ethereum on the CME. This comes as spot Ethereum exchange traded funds ETFs experience inflows of more than $2 billion. Ethereum's price remains subdued, failing to break above 4,000. Has it? Let's see. Let's have a quick look if it's still there. My mouse is acting up. I gotta get a new mouse. Yep. Ethereum is still crawling its way back up to 4,000, but it hasn't reached there yet. We're still $46 away from 4,000. But Ethereum faces record short bets despite bullish ETF inflows. Over the past 3 weeks, Ethereum ETFs have recorded consistent inflows, amassing over $2 billion in new funds, according to spot on-chain data. This week included a record-breaking weekly inflow of $859 million, the highest since the product's launch. These developments have sparked optimism among some market participants. However, this inflow of funds has not transmitted into a significant price rally for Ethereum. Instead, the cryptocurrency's price performance remains subdued, raising questions among investors. I mean, this could mean that we might have a massive explosion upwards. Analysts attribute this to the increasing net short positions in CME standard Ethereum futures contracts, which reached a record 6,349 contracts, according to data from Zero Hedge. So we could see a massive crash on Ethereum, or a massive pump after these shorts get liquidated and the price of Ethereum explodes upwards. But right now, Bitcoin is looking like it's poised to break above the all-time high, like it's poised to break above the $105,000. It tapped it just briefly, and I guess it did break above the $105,000. So let's see how far this goes. Will the prediction by Gareth Soloway stay true? We're gonna see a retracement once Bitcoin hits about $107,000. Will that solidify, or are we going to see a massive pump of Bitcoin all the way to 100? Who knows, 110, 120,000. 105,000 obviously is a nice round number, so that's another psychological trigger that could cause a retracement on Bitcoin, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. In the meantime, while you do that, while you do wait and see, please do remember to smash the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, and come back for another update of All That's Crypto tomorrow on a Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week, or enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see you tomorrow on a Tuesday. Peace.